Moving on to the stomach, that is the widest J-shaped organ of the alimentary canal. Okay, it is present on the left side behind the diaphragm. The capacity of the stomach is around 1.5 liters. Okay, and there are folds on the stomach wall that are known as gastric rugae, which make the stomach distensible. Distensible means something that can be stretched. So, stomach is a J-shaped distensible organ that can be stretched. So, when the stomach is empty, there are folds which we call as gastric rugae. We see gastric rugae in an empty stomach. And whenever we eat something and the stomach is full, the stomach can be stretched because of these folds, and more amount of food can be accommodated because of the presence of this gastric rugae. So, empty stomach shows these folds, that is gastric rugae, and when there is food inside the stomach, this folds or the gastric rugae, they make the stomach distensible, they help in the stretching so that more food can be accommodated in the stomach. Right. Now, the stomach has 4 parts: cardiac, fundus, body and pyloric. We are just going to draw the diagram of the stomach. Since I told you that it is a J-shaped organ, so a J-shaped organ like this, just draw it with me in your notebooks. It's very simple, and meanwhile you can easily learn. It's a J-shaped organ. Okay. So, the structure of the stomach, which is actually a J-shaped organ. Now, what are we going to have here is, we have a sphincter over here. Okay. We have a sphincter over here, which I told you earlier also, we call it as a gastroesophageal sphincter, or we can also call it as cardiac sphincter. We can also call it as cardiac sphincter. Now, since there is cardiac sphincter, the first region, that is the cardiac region, the cardiac part of the stomach is still this portion. Okay. Then we have the fundus, we have the body, and then we have the pyloric part. So, this is the cardiac region, this is the fundus region. Now, fundus is mostly filled with gas. This region of the stomach is mostly filled with gas. Then after fundus we have the body. Now, the body of the stomach is actually distensible, means it is the part that can be stretched. Then we have the pyloric region. This is the pyloric part. Now, pyloric part is divided into 2. We have pyloric antrum and the pyloric canal. Okay. So, pyloric region is divided into 2. We have pyloric antrum, and the pyloric canal. And with this pyloric canal, we have a sphincter over here, and that sphincter is known as the pyloric sphincter. We call this sphincter as the pyloric sphincter. And here begins the duodenum, the small intestine. So, this is the duodenum, right. So, this is just again a rough representation, you can draw it quite well. And this is just to say that here I will just mark it cardiac like this only. This is the fundus region, right. Now, I told you that the stomach has 4 parts, right, cardiac, fundus, body and the pyloric part. Let us see what are the functions. When we talk about the cardiac part, why we call it as cardiac? Because this part is near to heart. That is why we call this part as a cardiac part. And there is a cardiac sphincter. The other name of cardiac sphincter is gastroesophageal sphincter. Now, what is it going to do? It is going to prevent the backflow of the digested food in the stomach. so that the digested food in the stomach does not go back to the esophagus, this cardiac sphincter is here. When the bolus of food, right, the mass of the food is going to enter in the stomach, there is digestion which takes place in the stomach. After that digestion, the food does not goes back in the esophagus, this cardiac sphincter prevents that. Okay. Then we have the region that is a fundus. I told you fundus is just filled with gas. Then we have the body. This is the main largest part of the stomach, and this is actually the distensible part, you can say. Distensible means something that can be stretched. Then we have the pyloric part. Pyloric part is divided into two. We have pyloric antrum and the pyloric canal. This pyloric canal leads into the small intestine, that is the duodenum. And over here at the end of this pyloric canal, we have a pyloric sphincter that is going to prevent the backflow of the food that is going to enter the small intestine's duodenum part into the stomach back. So this pyloric sphincter is also preventing the backflow of the food that is going to enter into this small intestine back into the stomach, right. So this is how the stomach is there. Now there are certain folds in the stomach wall. Just draw it like this. There are certain folds in the stomach wall which we call, I told you, which we call as gastric rugae. So just label it as gastric rugae. Now these gastric rugae are there, these folds are there when the stomach is empty. When food is going to go inside the stomach, right, these folds are going to get stretched so that I told you more food can be accommodated in the stomach, right. So this is how the structure of the stomach is. I can just show you an image also, let us see. Well, this is how is the image of the stomach. We have the esophagus or the food pipe that is going to push the food to the stomach, and here we have a lower esophageal sphincter, again I am repeating, which we call as gastroesophageal sphincter, or we can also call it as what? The cardiac sphincter over here. Then we have the which part? The first part, that is a cardiac part of the stomach. Then we have the fundus, then we have the body, then we have the pyloric part. Now as you can see in the image, there are certain folds, right. In the wall of the stomach there are certain folds, and these folds are termed as rugae, or you can also term them as gastric rugae. Okay. And here the pyloric part is divided into two, that is the pyloric antrum and the pyloric canal. Now this pyloric canal is leading the food to the duodenum, that is the small intestine, and here at this opening we have a sphincter, that is the pyloric sphincter, and this pyloric sphincter is preventing the backflow of the food from the small intestine back into the stomach. So this was about the structure of the stomach. Now let's move on to the functions of the stomach.